am your host, Reverend Dr. Rodney Coles. Today we have not one, but two special guests here on our show. We have Miss Ronita and Miss Nancy. Welcome to the broadcast today.
Thank you.
All right, now you are with the West Greenville Counselor. And Ms. Nancy, I'm going to ask you the question. Could you explain to us exactly what is that?
Sure. The West Greenville Health Council is a group of concerned citizens from West Greenville, as well as agency representatives. I'm from ECU. Other people I'm leaving out?
No, and just community. You said
And
community.
community. We started about a year and a half, well, we started as a council about a year and a half ago, but the movement really started several years ago with a grant to the Pitt County Health Department and other community partners, and I think you were on that original grant. And we get together, our purpose is to improve the health and well-being of residents in West Greenville.
Okay. Now, when you say, what is some of the things you think that's going on in the West Greenville that your guys are helping with?
So what we know is that the citizens of West Greenville suffer disproportionately from health inequities, particularly in the area of chronic disease. So, for example, the rate of diabetes is twice the amount of residents in West Greenville as it is in Pitt County as a whole. And that's true for most chronic diseases, almost all chronic diseases. In West Greenville, which is primarily an African-American community in comparison, again, with Pitt County as a whole, but that's also true when we look at communities of color across the country and also lower income communities. So that really motivated our focus on West Greenville.
Now, Ms. Ronita, what is your take on this, what's going on in West Greenville and some of the programs that the council is involved with?
Okay, as a citizen of West Greenville, I will say this: I was born and raised, was gone for a long time, and came back. And to see what had happened to the neighborhoods, it was really a little disheartening. And when I found out about the council, I was really pleased to hear about it because health has always been a concern of mine. And to see that some progress, or at least I'll say progress, was being attempted to educate the citizens on what was happening, what was going on. And I will say this: me, myself, I experienced a couple of things that I thought was, that's interesting. Compared to how it was done in another market where I came from, where health was a major concern, and comparing it to what was going on in Greenville. Well, one of the things I would say the council, I think, has been very instrumental in doing is educating the people on various topics that some people didn't know hardly anything about. And even myself and some others, we learned a little bit more. And so to be aware of various things that are going on that are affecting our community, our individuals, and a lot of times ourselves or our family members, has been helpful, very helpful.
And when you talk about the West Greenville, I concur with both of you saying that a lot of folks in that area doesn't know how to really get help, and I'm really glad that there's a counselor there to be able to give them information. And y'all do a whole lot. You do feeding programs, talking about the healthy feeding, and there's a lot of people in the West Greenville does have diabetes. And welcome back. I'm glad you left and you came back. So we thank you that you came back to the Greenville area, because especially there is such a need.
Yeah, it is.
In that area there. And so as people listen to this broadcast here, they're saying, well, how can I get involved? I mean, what are some of the things that folks could get more involved with and being a part of this counselor? Because I know people are listening and they know what we're talking about. It's just we just knocked on their door right now. Like, hey, these things are going on. So and they said, I know even probably they've heard and I've seen them out there, but how could we really want to get them engaged, and how can we get them engaged in this here?
Well, one of the things, we do have monthly meetings that they are invited to come to, and we try to publicize those meetings as much as possible at the Carver Library, on our Facebook page. And the meeting is always on a Monday. It's the third Monday, because we always have another meeting, but it's the third Monday of every month at 6 o'clock. And the topics, they range from various things that I think they would be very interested in finding out more about. But if a lot of people are on Facebook, we know that. Go to Facebook, look at our Facebook page and take a look at that. You'll find out a lot of information. And if you're not on Facebook, if you're at the Carver Library, information is there as well.
So on the Facebook, what do we need to put in that search engine to find you guys? What would be the name? Would it be the
West Greenville Health Council.
okay? Man, y'all guys doing a lot over there, Miss Nancy. Y'all have an event taking place over there, and we need to hear a little bit more about what's happening. So that's why we're here, so people know not just about your mission, but what y'all doing. Could you
Okay.
share that just a little bit with us?
I sure can. So I want to pick up for a minute, though, on what Ronita said, and just to let people know that our next meeting is this coming Monday, the 16th, at Lucille Gorham Intergenerational Center, and that meeting starts at 5:30. And so if you come to that meeting, typically the way those meetings are run is we have a guest speaker come and talk about a health issue. This month, it will be about sports injury. And then we have a healthy potluck, and we have time for fellowship. We also break out into our subcommittees, and this is where the real work of the council takes place. And so we have a program committee that develops programs, an advocacy committee that is really just starting to form, but that's where we're going to put a lot of effort in the future, a membership committee, and then a fundraising committee. But the program committee has been very active for the past several months in planning the event that you're talking about, which is the West Greenville Community Unity Block Party. A lot of people had a role in naming it. That's why it's so long. And so we're very excited about this. It'll be from 10 to 2 on August 4th, Saturday, August 4th, at the Thomas Foreman Park. And we have fabulous events for children and adults. We know it's going to be hot, so we have a water slide for the kids. Wow. We have a great entertainment lineup. Ronita has gotten some of the CMEPS alumni to come and do museum tours. I can't remember what else. We have a lot of stuff going on.
A lot of fun stuff, and we strongly encourage people to come. One of the things I thought was interesting, on our Facebook page, we had the flyer, and the son of Thomas Foreman, who no longer lives in the area, but who grew up in West Greenville, right across from the park. He sent the message and asked, well, can he come? And we were like, by all means. So.
Well, also, I forgot to say there'll be a cookout. The event is free to all West Greenville residents, and the purpose of the block party really is to celebrate the families, the culture, the history, and the identity of West Greenville, because we know that the West Greenville has had a very strong and vibrant history and culture. And I think sometimes that gets lost when we think about West Greenville, and that's something we want to highlight.
Exactly.
It's amazing that what you guys are doing there on August the 4th, and it's going to be at the time. It's going to be at 6 o'clock.
10 to 2.
10 to 2.
Trying to beat the heat a little bit.
All right, beat the heat just a little bit, right?
Just a little bit, not too much.
And it's to know about what the West Greenville Council is about, and bringing information to them, and bringing the people together. That's one of the most beautiful things that we can do, is bring people together and to talk about on health issues. Because going to scripture, you don't mind me go there. One of the scriptures says in Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed because of a lack of what? Knowledge.
That's right.
And people don't know about how to eat healthy. And I'm going to say this to you, and y'all probably didn't know. I put myself on the start of the month of July of eating right, a lot of rice. So I mean, last night I did wrong. I bought some Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Lord have mercy, it had so much salt I couldn't even finish it. And I got up with a headache this morning. And I actually realized I had to put a little hole in my belt, one size, because my dad just passed away. He had cancer, but he also had diabetes, and I know it runs in our family.
Yeah.
Because the first thing the doctor asks you, they ask about your history,
Yep.
your father, your mother, who has high blood pressure, and these things is a straight killer, and it sneaks up on you. And to have a counselor in our community to talk to them, to help them. I know that you do something at the 3rd Street School different times and bring health food, and you also partners with other agencies. Could you
Yes.
share some of the other agencies? Some people think that y'all just by yourself, or here's another organization, we had that, but could you explain some of the people that's with us? There's some that's doing the 5K walks. I'm going to let y'all say that. I don't want to steal the thunder.
Okay. One of the agencies I'm going to talk about is the Pitt County Health Department. The health department offers a lot of activities, especially those that are centered around pre-diabetes and diabetes. And what happens when it comes to, we're going to talk about diabetes quite a bit because people watch television, they see commercials, you see the medication that you can get on, but we want people to not be able to get on the medication by just letting people know what it's all about. But the health department offers a lot of programs to help you if you're pre-diabetic. Some people don't even know it, but they can find out if they are. And if you are diabetic, there are various support groups that are available as well. In addition to that, there are other things that the health department offers also. Information about sexually transmitted diseases, breastfeeding, and just family care overall. But they're very instrumental with the council as well. Several people from the health department are members.
And I'm going to put a plug in for my friend Ronita because she's involved with the diabetes prevention program there that's run through the health department, and she's a community representative for that program. And a lot of people are unaware of that program, but if you are pre-diabetic, this program can really help you not progress to diabetes, and that's something that Ronita is very active in. Some of our other partners are the Pitt Partners for Health, the Greenville Housing Authority, Carver and Shepherd Library. Let's see, I know I'm missing people. The Greenville Police Department, Access East. Other sponsors that we have for the block party are United Way. We had one very generous anonymous donor. The ECU Department of Public Health. There's really quite a long list of people who have an interest in West Greenville and have supported us in that, and yourself included.
Well, I want to thank you. I want to ask Ms. Ronita a question regarding of screening. Is it something that we are looking also to do a screening in the community for folks to
At the block party, you mean?
at the block party?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we will be doing screenings for diabetes. We're working on cholesterol, but we haven't finalized that also. But pre-diabetes and diabetes, that's definitely one screening that's going
Blood
to take
pressure,
place.
they're doing.
Are they doing weight also?
I think we decided against doing the weight.
Okay.
While you have a hot dog in one hand and a hamburger in the other hand, it's not a good time to do weight.
Sure. But one good thing about the block party, too, we will let people know there are other healthier options that they could have when it comes to eating when you have a cookout. You don't have to have the ribs and the pork hot dogs. They're turkey dogs.
That's right.
Also, and they're turkey burgers, and there's some other things to do. Like you said, you were trying to eat different. For instance, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yes, but they have more than one type of chicken. They also have the baked chicken. And
didn't know that.
oh yes,
I didn't know that either.
Yes. I think they still offer it. I haven't been there in a while, but they do. And a lot of places where you go to eat out, if you notice, take a closer look at the menu. There are other healthier options you can choose. But this is the perfect time of year to kind of change the way we eat because a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables are available now. So if we partake on a lot of those, that's one major way of helping us get on the right path to changing our lifestyle.
And I'm also, as you mentioned about the screening, that they could come that day and
Yes,
get a screening.
by all means.
And let me ask a question as well. As people listening to this broadcast today and they're saying, well, and there's churches in that area and there's other maybe small little organizations, would y'all willing to come and do a presentation to them?
Yes.
So, and the question is going to be asked again on a question with a question, how can they get in contact with you? Is there the number on the Facebook or?
They can, probably the best way to get in touch with us is to email us at westghc@gmail.com. That's our email address. You can also go to the Facebook page, which is at West Greenville Health Council, and you can even message us through our website at www.westghc.org. So those are all good ways for you to get in touch with us, and we would love to have any churches or civic organizations in West Greenville connect with us. We have great information that we can bring you in a short but powerful health disparities presentation that will really inform you about the inequities in health that exist, particularly among African Americans in our West Greenville community, and we hope that the organizations in West Greenville will designate a liaison to the West Greenville Health Council, because I really want to emphasize that the idea of the council is that it is community driven. So we have a lot of partnering agencies. We're very grateful for their support and partnership in the programs and so on that they bring to us. But what we do is directed by the citizens of West Greenville. And so for people to really control their own health and their own and the well-being of their communities, it's very important to have their voice in that process.
Sure. One thing I want to add about that, because sometimes some of the residents in West Greenville may not want to get involved or just a little unsure, but they may have family members who were also products of West Greenville, but who may no longer live there, but they worship still in West Greenville, they buy products and goods in West Greenville. Please, you get involved also, because it's all about spreading the knowledge and helping as many people as we possibly can.
And I want to also ask you a question, Ms. Nancy. I mean, what is the West Greenville Council different to other programs?
So I think in the first place, as we've said, the fact that it's community driven by people who live in West Greenville, who are impacted by health inequities in West Greenville. So that's one piece of it. The other piece of it is that while we do bring education programs and other sorts of programs like walking programs and so on to the community, we are also looking to advance the pursuit of well-being in West Greenville by working on advocacy, environmental change, and policy. And so as an example of this, I can give you that the people may be familiar with with Greenville's greenway system. And recently, the City Council just approved the Greenway to be extended through West Greenville. And we were on hand to welcome that decision as the council met. And we are looking to get involved in the way that project moves forward so that it serves the needs and wants of the West Greenville community. That's an advocacy event. It's establishing the West Greenville voice in the politics of West Greenville so that we can create environmental change that will allow people to be healthier in West Greenville. So for another example is fixing the sidewalks so people can actually get out there and walk. I understand a lot of lighting has been installed already in West Greenville, but we want to see it throughout West Greenville. We want to see more parks in West Greenville, and so on. So there's a long list, and that list of environmental change that we have comes from the people who come to our meetings, and then we champion that. So that's policy, that's environmental change, and then there's also systems change, which means we want to advocate for better access to care for people, and that involves changing the healthcare system in such a way that people can be healthier. An example of that is incorporating more lay health coaches into the way that our local providers do business.
So what I'm hearing from you is the council is more of helping in that West Greenville area and things that they have need by listening to the voice of the community.
Absolutely.
Is they come in to let you know. So the other question, I think you already mentioned it, because some people probably missed the question. If I'm a citizen over there in the West Greenville area, how do if I would like to come to your meeting, is it open, or is it open for us to just to come by to just discuss some things?
By all means, as we said before, our next meeting will be Monday, this coming Monday, at the Lucille Gorham Intergenerational Center at 5:30. And the topic this time will be focused on sports injury. With schools starting up very soon and many students playing sports, it's very important that people have a little more information about the possibility of sports injuries and what they can do to help prevent it and so forth.
So every third Monday.
Each month.
Each month. And do we skip any months? Or we go
have
straight
not.
through?
We've been going
All
through
right,
every month, and it's a different topic. And we do move the meeting around at various places, but if they can go on our Facebook page, which is West Greenville Health Council, or if they can go to the Carver Library, and also at the Intergenerational Center, there are information, and we're trying to post flyers all around too, and various people are putting it on their Facebook pages and sending it to other civic organizations, as well as being announced in several churches in the area as well.
And I just want to share something with you. As you may already know, that the Pet Pantry, did you know that they're working also in the West Greenville helping with pets, cats? You may have you may know, may not
I
know.
just heard briefly
Yeah,
about that. What is that all about?
Well, actually is a rule came through is that if a cat is running around the neighborhood and it is not bothering anybody, they will pick the cat up, and the city gave them a funding for it to neuter the cat and bring him back on the street. Now at the Joy Soup Kitchen, we have a few cats which we already done it, you know, and they ain't bother nobody. Squirrels don't bother nobody. They just jump around. Cats just don't bother nobody. I mean. And so, and it's something I want to make sure that we can connect them with you. I'm going to speak with her, but that's another initiative that is in the West Greenville. So people probably listening to this broadcast probably didn't know that, but they're going to get all this information from the West Greenville Counselor, which we meet up every third Monday. And they can get that information. Plus, they could go on our Facebook and get that information.
That's correct.
I want to elaborate a little bit more because we're coming to a close. We got about 2 minutes left. August 4th, it's the Community Network Unity Day.
It's the West Greenville Community Unity Block Party.
And the address again?
Is Thomas Foreman Park, which is on Nash Street, I think, in West Greenville. It's really the corner of Memorial and 5th Street.
And Nash Memorial.
And Nash, right.
5th.
And we have the pretty much the entire outdoors. It's 10 to 2. It's a cookout. It's all kinds of great activities for adults and kids. And we hope that people come. It's free to West Greenville residents.
And they can get their health screenings. Don't forget about the basic health screenings.
Now, I need to plug this in there. Could people make donations? Because if you want to bring water, anything that, you know, I just want to ask the question. I mean, you know, even myself need to go to the gas station with money to pay for my gas. I can't say Jesus paid the price. So I'm just asking the question.
Of course, we're happy to take donations.
Okay.
We pretty much have the food and beverages covered. But we are always happy to take gift cards that we can use in our raffles. We're going to be, as I said, we're going to be playing bingo, and you know that requires prizes. So if people are interested in making a donation of that kind, we also are having raffles. So if people want to we have quite a nice list of things that we would like to be able to raffle away to the community. And so if people are interested in making a donation, they can certainly contact us again at westghc@gmail.com.
Well, I thank you guys for being on this show here today, Ms. Ronita, Ms. Nancy.
Thank you.
As you're listening to the broadcast today, Community Insight, bring a resource to our community. As you heard about the West Greenville Counselor, get involved. They gave us the website. Get involved. It's our community on the West Greenville. Start talking about what's going on if you're not involved in it. It's like a boxer always talking about he's going to take him out the left and right, hit him third round, he's going to be out. But when the bell rings, he never leaves the corner. Leave the corner and get involved with the West Greenville Counselor. We thank you again for being on this broadcast. Community Insight. God bless. See you on the next broadcast.